ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਸਟੀਫਨ ਲੈਚੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਆਫ ਐਨਰਜੀ ਐਂਡ ਇਲੈਕਟ੍ਰੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਦੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਇਨਵੈਸਟਮੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਨਿਊਕਲੀਅਰ ਐਨਰਜੀ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ, ਇਹਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਕੀ ਦੱਸਿਆ, ਕਿੱਥੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਹੈ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ 'ਚ ਔਰ ਯੂਰੋਪੀਅਨ ਕੰਟਰੀਜ਼ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਐਗਰੀਮੈਂਟ ਨਿਊਕਲੀਅਰ ਪਲਾਂਟਸ ਲਗਾਏ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਹਾਈਲਾਈਟਸ।
I want you to know that our priority in Ontario has been affordable, reliable, abundant energy for Ontario families. So we introduced the Affordable Energy Act that for the first time in a long time is designed to make sure hydro rates stay affordable, not increased by 300% as they did under the former Liberal government. We have now prioritized nuclear energy as our solution to our energy demand challenges. And unlike many jurisdictions, east and west, north and south, who are scrambling for power, the team I named here, we have been working really throughout the past several months to build the clean energy future for our children and grandchildren. And so I'm proud to report that just 2 days ago, it is now law of the land, the Affordable Energy Act, that ensures competitive procurements that save ratepayers 30% when we generate power, nuclear energy as our priority, and the largest energy efficiency and energy conservation initiative we're launching in Canadian history that we're going to be unveiling in the weeks ahead. All of this is designed to reduce the bills for our families and seniors, many of whom were driven into energy poverty under the former Liberal Party. And I'll tell you that the federal Liberals today for the country, where they want to impose a new carbon tax, a second carbon tax at 5 times the current one, 5 times. So, which would have a disastrous impact on your bills, a real impact on family household budgets, on the cost of groceries, and of course, the cost of electricity. And so we believe as progressive conservatives in opposing this increase in costs on working people. And that's why we've said to the federal government, we need them to step back from this proposed clean energy regulation. So we've been initiating clean energy. We have been unveiling conservation programs. We've been expanding nuclear. We've announced 3 new locations in Ontario, in Haldimand, in Lambton, as well as in Wesleyville, so just outside of Port Hope, where we've committed to generating net new energy. And I'll tell you, it's a great achievement, I believe, for Ontario, a great success for our country, because we have energy security, which so many parts of the world don't. Now, I invited my esteemed colleague, Minister Kusindova Bashta, to join me, among others, because I was also with Rudy Kazeto in Poland and Estonia. And in Poland, we helped secure a significant achievement for Ontario, a 40 million agreement that allows us in Ontario to deploy our small modular reactors into Eastern Europe so that we can end the European dependence on Vladimir Putin's natural gas and oil. And I do believe that that is a powerful signal that democratic nations are coming together to support our friends. And it's a message of focusing in on our clean energy export potential, because we already are selling SMRs to the world. So this agreement with Poland opens up a whole new export market. It supports the Polish government as they transition away from coal. But perhaps most importantly, our exports abroad create jobs back home. And we were proud to deliver that for the people of Ontario. We also have an export agreement with Estonia, which was a great achievement, as we also deliver small modular reactors and help them build a SMR in their country so that they too can stop purchasing natural gas from Vladimir Putin. This is an opportunity for Ontario because we have a need to produce 75% more power by 2050. 75%, 4.5 cities of Toronto have to be added to the grid. And yet here we are confidently speaking about our future because we have a plan and our premier is leading the way. And I've been very blessed to be working with good people, you know, Sharif, Natalia, Deepak, Nina, Rudy. I mean, every one of them is vested in ensuring that our kids, and like I say this while Natalia is carrying a child. She's, you know, we all have skin in the game here. We all want to make sure our kids, future or current, are set up for success. So it's an honor to serve with them. I'm grateful for this opportunity to help promote our country to the world and keep energy rates low, because if we don't oppose this new federal carbon tax that Bonnie Crombie wants to impose on Ontarians too, it'll drive up every energy bill in Ontario, a $35 billion hit to our economy that we cannot afford. So we're going to keep fighting and standing up for common sense values and for economic prosperity, for affordability, and for reliability, because, you know, the opposition, the Liberals will say, well, we should build more windmills. It's like, okay, we can do that too, but we need the power to be reliable. And that's the difference. We have a realistic plan for growth. So Shannon, maybe I'll stop there, turn it back to you. If any colleagues want to speak, I'll defer to them and defer to you, but I'm looking forward to the discussion today, and I'm just very grateful you've joined.
Minister LECCE, first of all, great job for investing in the nuclear energy. Correct me if I am wrong. We have always heard that Canada has a surplus energy and our biggest partner or a customer is United States of America. So my question is, if Canada has a surplus of energy or Canada had a surplus of energy, so then why our energy bills were so high in previous years? And also in terms of the export, we know that China and India, they are the biggest markets. So is these countries, China and India, are they into the export list? Is these names are in the export list for Ontario to export our technology and energy?
So the former Liberals were selling energy. We do produce excess energy sometimes. That is true, and we sell it to the U.S. The difference between the Liberals and us is they allowed energy, surplus energy, to be sold at a discount. I mean, we would lose a lot of money when we sell power to Michigan or New York or Pennsylvania. Our government, under the Affordable Energy Act that just now is law of the land, it sets a new standard where we're going to set long-term purchase agreements at a much higher kilowatt hour, meaning we make money when we sell it. But unlike the Liberals who are selling short-term amounts of power, we're going to ask the Americans to sign long-term agreements. That means we in Ontario have to have long-term power. So it makes it puts pressure on both of us. But that we go from losing money to making a lot of money by selling our power at a premium. It is the most important commodity, one of them on earth today. Most jurisdictions don't have the ability to build nuclear. They don't have hydroelectric. They're scrambling. They're purchasing power desperately at a very high rate. We have the advantage. We already are a net exporter. We already are investing in our infrastructure to export energy into the US. We've been planning this for months. And unlike, it seems the federal government, Ontario under Premier Ford and our entire cabinet and team has been preparing for a potential President Trump, his re-election. And that's why we have been aggressive in making the case to the US that Canada, American energy dependence is critical for their economy. 9 million American jobs depend on Ontario's integrated economy. We are the third largest trading partner after China and Mexico to the US. And so we are taking our message to the world. We are promoting and safeguarding and defending Canadian jobs in our province. And I know Minister Tangri would want me to emphasize, particularly protecting small businesses and, families, businesses, farmers. Every Ontarian will pay more under the provincial and federal Liberal plan. They want to increase the carbon tax, the second carbon tax, by 5 times. That's going to add hundreds of dollars to families' pockets and businesses' pockets. So our priority, as I say, is to focus on affordability. We've passed a law that requires everything we do in the Ministry of Energy to be about affordable, reliable, clean power. But it has to be affordable, and that's the difference. And so we're going to be selling abroad with a profit in mind, with an advantage in mind, so that we ultimately, Ontario families who produce the power, could benefit from the monetization of that commodity. With respect to China, India, what I'd simply say is Canadian technology partners, like, for example, Atkinson Realis, who owns CANDU, they have secured agreements in China to build new CANDU reactors. And they, of course, promote their technology, both Westinghouse and CANDU, into other markets, including China and India and other fast-growing markets. For Ontario, our focus has historically been areas that have expressed interest. We've been pitching this all over the world. And right now, a great emphasis is in the European markets because of the the Russian war. All countries there are trying to turn away from Russian natural gas and turn to democratic sources of energy. But we look forward to working to export our technology in all regions of the world, well beyond Europe.
We've chosen Ontario as our home, and we want to continue to make sure that each and everyone knows that Ontario is a very welcoming place. So thank you for your part of what you do. But just to be very honest and to understand that each and everything that we put through our government is very well thought through. It goes through many different channels, through cabinet, through caucus, through everything that we do, through the public, to make sure that we're making decisions that benefit everyone. And for you to be part of that and to get that message out there is extremely, extremely important. Again, our government is just looking towards the next election. We're not looking at just because we need to get elected. We want to make sure that we are there for all of our future generations. And it's just so important. And this government has taken leadership when it comes, as Natalia had mentioned, long-term care. So taking care of our seniors, whether it's education, so our youngest of the people going through our schools, to make sure that our education curriculum is the best in the world, and going back to the basics and making sure that our children are learning what they really need to learn and be there for them, and everything in between. As you know, Minister Fedeli is traveling around the world. He's bringing significant investment to Ontario. The one thing that every company asks if they're coming here, they want to set up shop, do we have reliable energy? Do we have energy costs in check that makes it affordable for them to do that? And we're very proud to say, with the great work of Minister LECCE and the team, that we can confidently say yes, which is why we've been able to bring in about $45 billion of investment since coming into government. So thank you again to each and every one of you. Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful, safe New Year. I'm sure I will see many of you before then.